Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever in the world you're watching, and welcome to the vlog setup showdown. Right, so in the right corner is the Canon 200d with the 16-35 F2.8L Mkii Rode Videomic and the Manfrotto tripod thing that isn't quite strong enough to take the weight of this setup. And in the left corner, bollocks, in the left corner is the GoPro Hero 8 on the shorty pole. That's it. Why do I always start these videos walking uphill? I never know. So I've broken this video into a series of categories that I think are important for a vlog setup. First up is image quality. So steep. I do just want to say before we get into this video that I'm doing this purely based on the setups that I have here. That if I make a negative judgment, they go, oh, it's because you got this, you haven't got that. That isn't what it's about. I know there's things I could add to both setups to make them both better. But the whole point of this video is comparing the exact setups that I've got and that I use. Both my arms, I mean it is all uphill to be fair, but both my arms already feel like I've been for about a week. Oh no, and it keeps going. So, image quality, arguably on the face of it, the most important thing about the vlog setup, because it's a video and you watch videos with your eyes. On paper, like statistics wise, the GoPro should absolutely cream this one. So, like I said, on paper, the GoPro has the best image quality, whereas the 200d here films in a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames a second, whereas the GoPro does that magical 4K, even though it's not all about how many Ks you have. But, you know, I've looked back at the footage because, as you know, if you watch this channel for long enough, I've used both this 200d and this GoPro on vlogs in the past. And my opinion is the GoPro has really nice, crisp, high quality footage, but it does lack the cinematic feel you get with the 200d. Although it's a lower resolution, the image looks more realistic. I feel it's not over sharpened like the GoPro, and I think the colours come out a lot nicer, whereas the colours on the GoPro are very traditional GoPro colours, and you can tell immediately that it's GoPro footage. Not that that is a bad thing, I just think personally, on the whole, I prefer the image that you can get out of the Canon. But the image that comes out the GoPro straight out the box with very little post-production is the GoPro. So a quick and easy vlog, GoPro. Overall, for my personal use and for the image that you can get from it, I think the Canon does trump the GoPro when it comes to that cinematic feel. Next up, we're talking audio, the second most important thing about a vlog setup, in my opinion. So when it comes to audio, it's quite obvious, I think, if you look at the Canon setup, which has the best audio, and it's the Canon, because it's got a dedicated microphone, so the audio is always, bloody hell, the audio on the Canon is always perfect, whereas the audio on the GoPro here is really impressive. Bear in mind it's all built into such a small compact package, and the results are more than usable. The GoPro audio has stood up extremely well though, especially in some really bad weather conditions. In the vlog where I was talking about how content doesn't shoot itself, I didn't manage to get every single bit of audio usable, but considering that I was in 50-mile-an-hour winds and rain and on top of a cliff and stuff, it stood up really well. Just a really quick and easy solution would be the GoPro, but again, if you're going like me and you want to go for maybe higher quality, then I am obviously leaning towards the setup with the Canon, so the Rode Videomic for me has the best audio quality, even with the big form factor, batteries and stuff like that. I still think that is worth carrying around to get super clean, crisp audio. Sorry GoPro, still honourable mention there, really honourable mention, all things considered. Oh fuck, I'm covered in mud already. On to probably the shortest and most definitive category of all of the ones I've got planned, and that is stabilisation. And that is a clear winner for the GoPro because, well, the Canon doesn't have any stabilisation, and that is probably my biggest gripe with it, is just how shaky and wobbly the footage is. Oh yeah, alright, I'm not that mad, I promise. Just stood here talking to myself.
What are you making?
It's YouTube videos. Always nice seeing people who are like genuinely interested in what you're doing. But yeah, I can't even remember what I was doing. Oh, stabilisation, yeah. Clear win for the GoPro because the stabilisation is mad. I'm wobbling the camera now, I mean obviously I can't see it, but I know that just from previous footage that I've done vlog style with it, it's just so smooth and it just adds that level of professionalism to the video compared to the 200D, which is my biggest gripe because it's just so shaky. Just because, like I said, the camera and lens setup is so unbalanced, just because the 200D body is so light compared to the weight of the lens. It's just, yeah, not ideal. So clear win for the GoPro here. A bit like the stabilisation category, I'm pretty sure I know which camera or which setup is going to win this next one, but we're going to do it anyway. It's B-roll. B-roll for me is a really important part of the vlog for, you know, breaking up the listening to me droning on about something that you're probably not very interested in. But I do think I know which one is going to win, and it's probably going to be the Canon, but just to be sure, I'm going to film 10 seconds, if that, of, you know, B-roll style clips on each camera, and then show them to you. Drop a comment down below with which one you think looks the best, but my money is on the Canon for this one, and I'll talk about that once I've filmed. So while I let the 200D finish off the time lapse I'm trying to get done for the B-roll sequence that you would have already seen, but I'm going to talk about now. That makes sense? I personally think, obviously I've not seen this footage edited yet, but it's more to demonstrate the points I'm about to make to you based on the footage that I've seen from both cameras in a similar sort of situation. And that is, I think the Canon, again for me personally, does take the biscuit because you have the flexibility of changing lenses to create depth of field, i.e. to a lens with a low f-stop to get that, you know, nice blurry background, you know, give that depth of field, which you obviously can't do on the GoPro because it's a fixed lens. And again, because it's a fixed lens, I know you've got the digital options to switch between wide, super wide and things like that. You don't have the option for like this. I could put a 70mm lens on the front of that and get really nice uptight close-up shots just by twisting the ring on the front of the lens. So from that respect, I think the quality, in terms of cinematic quality, you can't beat what you can create with a mirrorless or a DSLR camera with a GoPro. And just that thing of everything being in focus as well is just, it works, it's nice, especially when you're trying to get around, you know, the whole landscape, the whole area, and then it is perfect. But again, for me personally, there is something really satisfying about getting the image to look exactly how you want it to as the creator, rather than just being limited by what the GoPro in this case is capable of. I've timed this video quite badly actually, because I'm going to be a bit up against it with the light. As you can see, it's the sun's already starting to make its way down, but anyway, The next category is size and usability. Right, so when it comes to size and usability, it's kind of obvious which one wins, and that is the massive Canon setup. I'm joking. It's the GoPro. I mean, come on, the whole setup fits in and out my pocket so quickly and easily. It's super light, and you know, I can carry it all day, whereas the Canon setup is actually quite taxing on your arm when you're doing it for an extended period of time. I still, to this day, I never know how Peter McKinnon vlogs with the 1DX Mark II. He must have four arms like a single man. Hands down win for the GoPro here. There's no way that can be argued, that for size and practicality that you can beat the small lightweight package of the GoPro, and the mounting options you get with it as well. The next category, if you ask me, is also something really, really high up on the list of important things when it comes to a vlog setup, and that is battery life. The battery life on the GoPro famously is pretty crap. I mean, I fully charged this one this morning before heading out here this afternoon, and I'm now on 57%. The 200D battery, however, I fully charged before filming my last vlog, and we've still got 2 bars of battery left. So it's filmed a full vlog plus half of this video, and we've still got 50% battery left, where the GoPro has only filmed so far this video, and we're on similar battery level to the 200D, and the 200D's filmed a whole nother video. So hands down win for the 200D there. I mean, I do obviously have more GoPro batteries, but the whole point of this is that, you know, the setup as it comes, because, you know, I could carry a fucking petrol generator in my bag and plug everything in and it will last forever. So yeah, 200D wins for battery life, and just having it all in one battery just makes it so much easier, because not limited by having to carry extra batteries around and things like that. So having it all together, lasting as long as it does, is a must for me, and yeah, a really big reason why the 200D trumps in that category. If you ask me on the next category, which is screens, I'd actually say it's 50-50. On paper you would say the Canon wins because it has the flip screen, so I can see myself easily just by turning the screen to face me, whereas the GoPro, obviously, I know the Hero 9 has forward facing screens, but the Hero 8 that I'm using doesn't. But the reason why it doesn't bother me on the GoPro is because I know as long as the lens is pointing at me, the field of view is so wide that it is probably got me in frame. And the bad thing about having the flip screen, I find, is I always end up doing the video like this and looking at the screen, not looking at the lens, which is a really bad habit of mine, which I really need to kick. So yeah, I think on the whole Canon wins because of the flip screen, but for me personally, either way isn't a deal breaker on these particular setups. Now I just quickly want to talk about just all round ease of use, built-in features, that kind of thing, just, you know, the general user experience for each setup. And for me, I do love just how easy and simple it is with the GoPro, because it literally goes in and out of my pocket. If I want to take a photo on my 5D or do something quickly with my hands, then it just whips back in my pocket. The little shorty has little tripod legs on it, so I can stand it up when I do bits where I'm filming myself walk past the camera. Got the built-in hyperlapse mode, the stabilization, auto exposure is brilliant, and it's all just built in. Whereas the Canon setup is a pain in the arse because it's big, it's bulky and heavy. The tripod isn't strong enough to support the, hang on, I'll show you. So that is a pain in the arse. I can't just set it down on the tripod because it just falls over. And the GoPro, sounds silly, but the GoPro voice control is brilliant, because I can just say, GoPro, stop recording. So it's perfect. So that is perfect when it's set up on the end of my paddle board or somewhere like fixed to it, you know, somewhere where I'm not actually holding the camera. I can just say, GoPro, start recording. And it does exactly what I said to do. Same if it takes a photo or something like that, so that is really handy. So yeah, the GoPro's got a lot going for it here, but it's not all bad things about the Canon setup, because you've got so much more manual control. The user experience is so easy with the you know, the buttons, rather than trying to use that tiny touchscreen with my ham fists, which can prove really difficult sometimes. You know, especially when it's cold and wet, this touchscreen isn't amazing. So just the user experience and menu systems, changing settings and stuff like that is so much nicer on the Canon, as well as things like the built-in time-lapse mode where you can actually manually set shutter speed and things like that. So if you wanted to, you can get, you know, the motion blur and things like that. And also just the ability to shoot proper raw photos, and the quality of video that it actually captures, you know, the codecs that it films in, and the colour science as well. For me personally, I prefer the Canon over the GoPro, because GoPro obviously has its very recognisable GoPro colours, which isn't a bad thing, but just for me, how easy it is to get the look that I want from the Canon colours is so much better and so much easier to do on the Canon than it is to try and manipulate the GoPro to look how I want it to look. The GoPro's got a lot of things that when I'm actually out filming make it a lot easier, you know, the lightweightness, the quick start, the voice commands, that it actually stands up on the tripod and falls over like this thing does. But yeah, so it's again 50-50, and for me it very much depends on, you know, time constraints with when I'm filming the video, how long I've got, you know, and how much time I've got to put in the post-production side of it as well. So for me it very much depends on the video I'm shooting, and where possible I will use the Canon, but just because of, like I said, it's easier to get the look that I want from it. But I have got to put up with the downsides, but I get the best image and the best audio. So my arm is killing me. There we go, some side by side for you. And some of my infamous disco dancing. This is going to be the final category that I compare these two in today, because quite frankly the list could go on and on and on with so many different ways of comparing these two setups. But as much as I could see which one's the winner, it's more about which is the right tool for the job. But anyway, the final thing I'm going to look at today is the cost, which is tricky because the 200D isn't in production anymore. You know, it was my first proper DSLR camera, you know, from a good 4 years ago. And back then it cost me about 500 and something pounds with the kit lens and a 50mm 1.8 lens. So it was good value. I think the camera body itself was about 350-400 quid on its own. So the camera body is a very similar price to a full price new GoPro. So from that side of things, the cost is similar. However, as we're comparing the setups, not the cameras themselves, this Canon setup is considerably more expensive, because the 16-35 lens is four figures. I think it was about 1,500 quid, something like that. I can't quite remember. I'll look up the cost. Whereas the only other thing that I've had with the GoPro is the shorty pole, which actually came with it. So yeah, by the time you've added the lens on the GoPro and the microphone, which is 100 and something quid, and the pointless Manfrotto thing that can't take the weight of it, which was about another 20 quid as well, that makes the Canon setup the best part of getting on £2,000 plus, rather than maximum 400 quid for a GoPro setup. So from that point of view, the GoPro is considerably cheaper, the most amazing value for the bang for the buck you get in terms of doing vlogging. And if you're looking to start vlogs, then I couldn't recommend the GoPro enough. I personally wouldn't bother spending lots and lots of money if you purely just want to do this kind of video, talk to the camera and get your message out there with, you know, some really nice features, easy to use. Then the GoPro is the clear winner from that point of view. Right, the GoPro battery is about to give up, and I haven't bought a spare charged one with me because I wanted to do the comparison of the battery life, obviously. So that kind of sums that one up, doesn't it? Because the Canon has still got 2 bars of battery left. So as frustrating as this may be for some of you watching, my conclusion is I'll continue to use both. As annoying as this is, can't make a definitive decision, as in I'm not going to completely retire one setup over the other when it comes to vlogging. I do think that, you know, this whole process has made me realise just how good the GoPro setup is, all things considered, for vlogging, and I would definitely be using it more often over this setup for, you know, all of the reasons that I've mentioned in this video. So, but that's not to say that the Canon won't see the light of vlogging life ever again, because it certainly will. Is it bad that I'm thinking how cool it would be to get a car or, you know, some kind of off-road vehicle driving down here for some epic photos and video? Welcome to how my brain works. It's not, oh look, it's lovely, there's no one else around, and the sun setting and all this beautiful landscape and the snow-topped mountains. No, it's, can we get a fucking massive off-road car down here, like mobbing through the puddles and stuff, and how cool would those shots be? Am I wrong? Would that or would that not be cool? Stick a comment down below, because maybe it's something we can make happen one day, because I'll be up for that. 100%. That would be a cool vlog as well. I really hope you've enjoyed this showdown comparison style video, and you want to see more videos like this one, then drop a comment down below. Let me know the sort of thing that you'd like to see, a comparison between all the setups you'd like to see, a comparison between, because I've really enjoyed doing this, and it's a great way of opening your eyes to just how good the equipment that you've already got is, and goes to show it's not about how much everything costs. If you did enjoy this video and you want to become part of the amazing community that's starting to grow, then hit that subscribe button down below, ring that notification bell like a ringy thing, and whilst you're down there, smash that like button, leave a comment, share with your friends, do all of that amazing stuff that you're already doing. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.
You make me go, oh, oh, oh.